We turn now to a controversial Louisiana law that reclassifies two pills commonly used in medication abortions as controlled and dangerous substances.
Now, this law goes into effect in October. It makes knowingly possessing mifepristone and misoprostol without a prescription punishable by fines and possible jail time. One state lawmaker is fighting back, and she joins us now, Louisiana State Representative Aimee Adatto Freeman. Thanks so much for being with us.
Good to see you.
Hi, how are you? Good afternoon.
So I'm curious, because this wasn't initially part of this legislation. Can you explain what this law does and how this all came together?
So initially the law was filed at the request of a senator on these because of his sister being given these drugs incorrectly by her former husband, and he used it to try to force her to have an abortion. That was the initial law. I think the initial law, 105 House members would have voted against. When it got to the House side, unfortunately, the Right to Life hijacked the bill. They added an amendment changing the schedule of these two drugs, mifepristone and misoprostol. They changed it to Schedule 4, which is the same exact thing for Valium and other addictive drugs. And so in changing the status of the medication, it's making it more difficult for doctors to prescribe and for patients to understand the use of these drugs.
And we should point out that these drugs are also used for miscarriage, to treat hemorrhage, for certain types of ulcers. As a doctor, I've been using these medications for over 20 years. Why do you think it is so difficult to convince some politicians to stay in their lane and not interfere in potentially life-saving care that doctors, healthcare professionals who have spent 8 years in graduate education have expertise that a politician does not?
I fully agree with everything you say. I don't think we should be legislating reproductive care. I represent a lot of doctors, but what I will tell you is that most of my colleagues care more about their score from the Right to Life, and they have this conception that it's a baby from the moment of conception. They go so far as to say that an 11-year-old should have to have a baby after rape or incest, which to me is horrific, because what are you doing to protect that 11-year-old or that baby that's born into that world? So for me, I don't understand why my colleagues do this, but I want people to know that there are representatives like me in southern states like Louisiana that are fighting the good fight and trying to put the doctors where they belong to be as the experts that they are. We should not be legislating this type of information and these type of medications. It's contrary to maternal health.
Citing the fact that this law criminalizes the use of an abortion drug on an unsuspecting mother, Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry said, quote, "This bill protects women across Louisiana." Do you agree with that?
I absolutely disagree with the governor on that statement. 100% disagree.
And why is that?
He doesn't understand the full scope of medicine. He's not a doctor. He's a lawyer. He's a governor. He's a former attorney general, but he does not understand the full scope of medicine. I believe he hasn't spoken to the doctors. I believe he hasn't spoken to the mothers. I believe he doesn't understand that this is used for ulcer treatments. And so in my opinion, he's just misinformed and is buying into the message that the Right to Life provides people in this capital.
There are going to be some people who look at this and say, you know, this is a prescription medication. Most people who are using this will have a prescription from their doctor. So, you know, what's the point of legislation like this?
Well, the point of legislation like this is to get out in front and to be an example to other states about how we can restrict care for abortion. But it is not an abortion bill. It is not used for just abortion. So it's a misnomer to put this into a category of saying it's an abortion drill when it's used for other purposes that are very critical for health care. So to me, the point is to just continue the message of the Right to Life, which I fully disagree with.
Representative Aimee Adatto Freeman, thank you for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thank you.